today. By the way, the glaring disadvantage for the Eagles it wasn't in the clip there. 4 games this year, not 4 straight, but 3 pretty close together. 4 weeks this year where the Eagles are playing an opponent that is coming off of their bye week. Only the Chargers have that as well. There are 14 teams in the NFL this year that are not playing anybody coming off of a bye. The Eagles have 4.
See, that's kind of crazy. The 4 is a lot, but then you see the sheer number of people that are not having to experience that at any point of their 18-week schedule.
Yeah, that's nuts to me. And then, of course, we're also reacting to the Sixers press conference yesterday. Our poll of the day brought to us by Dr. Avidan Appel and Iron Mountain Men's Health, 4 hours strong every single morning, thanks to him. After the Bob Myers and Josh Harris press conference, did your hope meter go up or down? It's actually gotten closer, which means more people have gone up as we've gotten later on in the day. 53% say their hope meter has gone down. 47% say up. I don't know what you heard yesterday that would make it go down. Now, I'm not saying that there was anything that I was like, yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it. Bob Myers is going to lead us to the promised land. But I didn't hear anything that I was like, wow, I'm really disappointed.
No, nothing should disappoint you. It's too early.
I don't think you walked away feeling like this is it. We've got everything in place. The thing that I came away from after I watched it later was, all right, there's a direction.
Yeah.
I feel that they've got, a handle on what they're looking for.
Absolutely. I feel like
that's really all you needed to hear.
Yes, I got the message.
Because the president of basketball operations guy isn't here yet.
Yeah. So I don't know how anybody's hope went down.
That one could take my hope down. After they hire that guy.
Because then you could have opinions about because that is the person that's going to have their thumbprint on where this team is going.
Even though we know that Bob Myers will be
very involved.
And Darryl told you nothing using 50 words. Like,
except for that he sold high on.
He'd wander around and
he made that one clear.
So.
All right, joining us now here on Kincaid and Salchunas. It is also a Friday with Fadool, so Amy in studio with us for the rest of the show. From ESPN, he may know Bob Myers a little bit more than some of us because of Bob Myers' time at the network. Our man Kevin Negandhi joins us. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are we doing? And Amy, how are we doing all?
We're doing wonderful. Before we do W's and L's, Bob Myers is obviously going to be the leader for finding the new president of basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers. The two of you worked at ESPN for some time. Curious how many run-ins you had with Bob Myers and what you think of the person.
I'm a big fan of Bob Myers, big fan. I like Darryl as well, so make sure everybody understands that. I think that Bob, so I worked extensively with Bob at the NBA draft, as well as the NBA playoffs. He's brilliant. He sees the big picture. He understands. I feel like the Sixers, if Bob's in control and the final decisions, will be in a really good place. So with this whole process, I can't wait to see what happens next because I think that it'll play a huge role in the domino effect on how the organization is shaped and the future. The message, I think, was clearly sent that you can't get swept regardless of the Celtics series and how it ended. You can't get swept by the Knicks. You can't have Knicks fans infiltrate the area. And I think that I want to tell everybody, too, this is not one of those, hey, we hire a guy, it's solvable, because you also have 2 major contracts with players that are not healthy and do not give you, 70 games on the schedule. So you have to figure everything else out around their contracts.
Do you think that he is hiring a protege type, or do you think he's going to try to hire somebody that has more of a reputation of doing this before?
I think he's going to hire the best person possible for this specific situation. I know that doesn't answer your question, John, but I actually think that Bob won't look for a protege. He'll look for somebody who is the best possible person that could handle this situation and the person that actually wants the situation. Because the first couple of years aren't going to be that great trying to figure it out. And I think sometimes people forget the position Darryl was put in when he first got here. He had to deal with Ben Simmons. You've got to figure that out. You had to figure out the Al Horford contract. So there's some things that, I think Darryl look back and reflect and say, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But he came in with, some hands tied here too and trying to get out of 2 contracts and then get these guys proper. And also, listen, you don't know the availability of 21, and Joel Embiid is, when he's on the floor, we saw the difference in this team and how they played the rest of that series against the Celtics. But if you don't have him 100%, no one knows if he's ever going to be 100%. I think people forget, too, that at the beginning of this season last year, there was doubts about what he could contribute because that knee was so bad. He visited Kawhi's doctor. They figured it out. For him to give what he gave, and then the appendectomy, the freakiest injuries, the guy's been through a heck of a lot. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm just here to provide a little context on everybody getting so mad at what they saw and how things played out without understanding that where this team was and the doubt that they had on where Joel was going to be entering the season to where they were. If we told you at the beginning of the season that, hey, regardless of what was going to happen, they're going to win 3 in Boston, they're going to end the Celtics season, and a Celtics team that was favored, I think everybody would have said, all right, I'll take that. It's just the final 4 games left a really bad taste in their mouth. When they lost game 2, the effort in game 3 and 4 could have been much better.
That's such a good point about as far as trying to have a little bit of perspective, which is hard because of the way that everything went with the Knicks. And I'll take your question or your statement a little bit further. If you said that you were going to win 3 straight elimination games against Boston, knowing that you were only getting 21 total games with Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey, you'd have been like, what, how did that even happen? So it's
no
really,
question, Amy.
yeah, you know what
no
I mean?
Question.
You have to really look at the big picture. And that's one of the things, and I think people view it as an excuse. And I'm not intending it to come across as an excuse or as, well, this is the reason you had to keep Nick Nurse. It is unusual to have a GM search going on with a coach already in place. It happened here in Philadelphia before when Doc Rivers was in place and Daryl Morey was hired. Obviously, that did not go out well because they got swept in the bubble and whatever else. Going forward, how difficult do you think that is for Bob Myers? Because he's looking for somebody that already is going to be able to align with Nick Nurse, or at least be able to compromise with a head coach that's already in place and a roster that's already largely in place.
I think that's a challenge. I also think Nick was put in a really tough position because, listen,
Agreed.
Every night you don't know who's playing, and every night you don't know what the style of basketball you're going to play because you don't know who's going to be on the court.
Exactly.
Right? So that could be really tough. Now, some of the things that Nick needs to clean up is that these third quarters, they were just brutal during the regular season where, it's a close game at halftime or they got a lead in the halftime, and then you look back up in the start of the fourth quarter, they're down 10, and you're like, what the heck just happened? So I think there's some things that Nick needs to clean up, but it is a challenge. I think for Bob to find somebody, but I wouldn't put anything past a decision being made that whoever they decide to bring in, they decide who they want as head coach. I don't say that with any information, but nothing will surprise me. The one thing about the Sixers, I think that this whole town experiences this. I have too. We got a little PTSD. Because every single thing with the Sixers, it's not just the Sixers currently, it's what has been carried over the last decade or 12 to 14 years in every decision. We carry the weight on every single decision. It's very much what it was like, I think, after Andy Reid and Andy Reid's last year and then Chip's, the beginning with Chip, like every decision was like 10 years of angst and frustration buildup, regardless of what the current situation was. And I think that we carry that in every conversation that we have, especially when you look at the Knicks and you look at, we could have had Brunson. We could have had all the Nova guys. We had Bridges there. When you play the Celtics, the Tatum Fultz question. What could have been? What might have been? Why are we in these situations? I think that's carried out in every single angle, regardless of, hey, we're in modern day, we're dealing with this right now. And I think that carries over the frustration with Sixers fans. Let's face it, we're scarred. We're upset. We are very much like what could have been. But Eagles fans were in that little zone there about 10 years ago. on every decision, like what could have been, what should have been, why are we here? I can't believe it. Knock it on the door. And the frustrations were building and building and mounting. I think that carries in every decision here. And what Bob does, Bob Myers, he brings some sense of, hey, I get it. I understand. I've been watching. I've been sitting here. Mm-hmm. I'm coming from an organization where we set everything up right. I think it gives some type of pause here for the fans to say, all right, let's be a little patient here with Bob Myers and let's see what direction he puts us in and then move forward.
Kevin, we'll spare John Kincaid from playing W's and L's because he's very anti. But when you saw the Eagles schedule come out yesterday, what were some of your key takeaways when you went through it?
I always look at like a couple things. The travel. How about this? They go to London, and then they come back and they face a Panthers team the following week, and the Panthers are coming off a bye. Mm-hmm. That's brutal. I didn't understand that. I was like, wait a second. The team we're facing gets a bye, and we're coming from Europe. That kind of annoyed me. And then I always look at the final 4 to 5 games. Because are we set up in the right spot? Do we need to win some of these matchups? Are they winnable games? And also, how are you coming out of those games health-wise? If you guys look at the final month, holy cow, I'm concerned about the physicality and where this team is going to be going into the playoffs if they got to face a team like the Texans and the 49ers, two extremely physical teams. And then you got the Giants. So I'm more worried about how they finish the back end. So they got to start out strong here early part of the season.
Yeah,
I would tell you though, you got 9 days between the Texans and 49ers, so hopefully everybody can sort of mend. You get 9 days.
That'd be nice.
That's a little bit extra.
That would be nice.
Yeah, but the way that the Texans defense is, and every single time you face the 49ers, man, it's absolutely physical.
Oh yeah.
So that's a great point on 9 days, but it's still the following week, and your body's still beat up and still recovering.
Yep.
Kevin, we appreciate the time as always,
thanks,
man. And by the way, thanks for the insight on Bob Myers. That was
really
awesome.
Good.
Thanks,
That should be on his business card.
Hell yeah, man.
Listen, I'm telling you guys, Bob's a good man. He is very balanced. He doesn't go on emotion, but he's also, as you saw in the press conference, he's very calculated in his answers. He's very, very smart. And I think that it's going to be a good thing with the direction of where the Sixers are going to go.
I love that. Kevin, thanks, man. We appreciate the time as always. Great catching up, and we'll talk to you next week.
Take care. Thank you, guys.
There he's Kevin Negandhi, our man from ESPN. Now, you just confirmed something for me.
What's that?
9 days. You did not have them losing to the San Francisco 49ers.
Really? That's interesting.
Just hearing you talk.
You mean my old neighbor?
Yeah.
What a jerk.
All right, I have it. I believe I have it.
You've got it. You've got his.
So, do you remember off the top of your head? Or do we have to open up and up?
Now you got to bring in a haircut. Bring in the envelope.
All right, Nate, bring in the envelope. So today, what we've been doing all show, John Kincaid. So, Amy, how this started. Earlier in the week, he dropped another strength of schedule email to me like, hey, look at this. And I'm like, all right, you are buying into the strength of schedule stuff. The over,
I don't want to handle it.
Yeah.
The over, I'll give it to Amy.
Yeah,
the over under wins for the Eagles is 11.5. And I was like, all right, so you have the over. Like, I can tell.
No, I already told you I did.
And he said
and
yes.
I remember on Tuesday because he was like,
I feel so good
he
about
felt
this.
really good about it.
Really feel good about it.
5 losses is what we knew.
And last night I almost made it 4.
So the job today was to try to figure out those 5 losses. So Austin, be ready. I actually have also 2 YouTube guesses.
Okay.
I appreciate Kieran and If Bayless for playing along as well.
If Bayless is a creative man.
So
or woman. I don't know. Is it a woman or a man?
I believe it's a man.
Because with Skip Bayless, I can't be sure.
Here are the wins and losses that I have.
Got to be honest.
My prediction of John Kincaid.
Okay.
Win-win, Commanders-Titans.
Okay.
Loss to Chicago.
I'm just writing down what you picked.
Yeah.
I
So
haven't
you just write down the losses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Win against the Rams. Win against Jacksonville, because you were talking about how much better it is to play out there and not the Jacksonville Heat. But that return home to Carolina, loss.
So there's another one. Lost to Carolina.
So far I have Bears and Panthers.
Okay.
Win against Dallas at home, loss on the road against the Commanders, win at home against the Giants, bye week. Win against Pittsburgh. You would never pick Aaron Rodgers to beat the Eagles. But loss against the Cowboys on the road on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Win against the Cardinals. Win against the Colts. You were talking about the weather earlier today. Loss against Seattle on my birthday.
Oh.
My daughters, too.
Win against Houston, because you would never pick C.J. Stroud to beat the Eagles. Win against San Francisco. And earlier I asked John for one question. I asked John one question. Was, hey, are you giving me the Week 18, like, we're resting our starters thing? He said it's going to mean something, so I have them beating the Giants.
Now, last year, Week 18 meant something, and Nick Sirianni decided to
still rest
everybody, which ended up screwing the Eagles over.
So my 5 losses, the hardest 2.
Or the last.
Well, was the Bears-Rams, but he had to pick a loss somewhere in there.
Right.
And then the Seahawks-Niners, but when he dropped the 9 days thing, I was like, all right.
I think he might have the losses at the end.
How many do you think he did, Amy?
I think he probably got 3 of them right.
Austin, which
what about
5
you?
losses? I had, again, Chicago, Carolina, Washington.
At Washington.
At Washington.
It's important the divisional games
Yes.
you say where.
At Dallas.
Uh-huh.
And the Seahawks game at home. Those are my 5. What were yours?
Alrighty, so I have the LA Rams as a loss within the first 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to go to, I believe, was it Dallas? The next game there.
Dallas is Thanksgiving.
Is Dallas
at Thanksgiving.
At Dallas?
You got him losing the home
Okay.
week 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I went with the Giants 1 o'clock game.
Going
You have
into
them
the
losing
bye
2 division games?
in that
They were
3-week
3-3
stretch.
last year.
And then I
like
went
this.
with the Seattle Seahawks
Okay.
All right.
and the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
All right.
I will. Who do you think did better, Amy?
I think Austin did better.
All right. Just so you know, Kieran, both
Uh-huh.
Dallas losses.
Okay.
Oh, swept by Dallas.
Chicago, Washington, I don't know which one, and
gotta say it.
and San Francisco.
We got to notate the game with that one. So, all right.
and
Amy,
then,
open
and
the
then hold
envelope.
on, and if
Oh.
Bayless,
No, if
Okay.
Seattle, San Francisco, at Dallas, LA, and Chicago.
Okay.
that one might be.
I don't think anybody is 5 for 5.
All right.
Okay. All right. So I'm opening the envelope.
There you go. Open the envelope up. There
Okay.
You go. Then you can pull it out of there, and then you can unfold it. See, I made sure nobody could see through the print.
So we've got Rams.
Their Rams is the first loss.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have them 3-0 to start.
So you got that one, Austin.
Jacksonville in London.
Oh, you threw me off the scent earlier this week.
Go
You were
on.
talking about how great it's going to be to not play in the
Someone's-
Jacksonville Heat.
It is going to be great not to play in
Super hot
Jacksonville
down
Heat.
there. At Washington.
Okay, so I got that one.
At Dallas.
So I got that one.
At San Francisco.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
You just threw me off. I was
He
between
did.
Seattle and San
His
Fran.
face when you said that, like, really? I was like, I think
When
he
you
San Fran
dropped
is a
the
loss.
9 days thing to Kevin, I was
I
like,
can't-
oh, okay, that answers my
And I
question.
can't stand that Kyle Shanahan.
All right.
And he's putting the towels out at 9 in the morning. Dirty, rotten person.
There
What
you
kind
go.
of person does that?
Well,
They're the worst people on
A
earth.
lot of people do it, trust
They're
me.
the worst.
it's
That's
the
because
same people that, don't return their shopping carts.
They're the worst people on earth. And Andrew's been one.
I have done that, yes.
Let's go put our towels
Well,
out
my
and then go
wife
away
has.
for like 2 hours.
No, not
Put a
2
book,
hours.
put a book out and a towel out and our flip flops, and
We've
then
done-
go away for like 2-3 hours.
We've done that. All right, coming up next.
Jerks.
What are the NBA insiders saying about the Sixers? Austin just let me know that Wendy and Tim Bontemps wrote an article. There are some executives that are guessing what the Sixers will do this offseason. Tell you that next. Also, we'll have fun and do W's and L's. It is Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 9:29 here on Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. It is a Friday with Fadool. I have not asked enough for them. Text in your questions for Ask Me Anything. We do it every single Friday at the end of the show. Any sort of question that comes to your mind that you want Amy to answer, send them in.
Fire away,
610-632-0975. The non-sports ones are always more fun. I get it. We're a sports talk radio station, so your thoughts are sports. The non-sports ones are always more fun. Text them in. Austin, you will get those. So if you send them in now, Austin will have them ready. So send them in now at 610-632-0975. YouTube, I will get yours as we get closer to the segment. All right, real quick before we do W's and L's, because it's a holiday, Amy. There is an article by Tim Bontemps and Brian Windhorst. They're both working together and doing all the off-season conversations. And they did a Sixers portion of it and what they should do this offseason. And Tim Bontemps spoke with a Western Conference executive. They believe that the Sixers will run it back. Run it back, load manage Joel Embiid as much as they can, be a playoff team, and try to stay healthy. I think there's stuff you can do on the margins. So if we take the emotion out of the Joel Embiid, the 12 years of this, if you bolster your bench, they'll be a better basketball team, period. Well, I'm not saying they'll be a championship contender. I'm not saying that they would beat the Knicks in a 7-game series. I don't think they'd get embarrassingly swept like they did 3 out of the 4 games if they had capable players that could come off the bench. Are we in agreement there?
Yes.
Yeah. But what's it serve?
Exactly.
Yeah, to what end?
Exactly.
It doesn't serve any purpose.
That's why I would move on if I can find the correct
Now,
shooter.
will we convince the Ray Dunns of the world? We will not.
I think you might.
I don't think we will.
I don't think he's completely married to the fact that you have to keep him in order to do anything.
He just doesn't like the other options.
There are some tough options out there.
I think the other options that are out there, the members of the cult, and Ray is one of the card-carrying members of the cult.
I still don't think it's cultish. I think he doesn't want to do 2 years of Sabonis. He might as well just do the extra year of Embiid.
I just can't do it.
The Jimmy Butler one intrigues me. You just have to give up more.
I mean, can't do it.
No, thank you.
You're saying no?
To the Jimmy Butler.
Up the pick?
No, thanks.
I'm not saying Jimmy Butler.
First, Jimmy Butler.
The contract.
Right,
not the player.
correct. Yeah, that's the thing, and we do have a very smart fan base here in Philadelphia. It's always people from the outside. They're like, "Well, you guys should just get rid of him." And people in Philadelphia are like, "I don't think you understand how the NBA works.
Yeah,
you can't just cut the guy and think that that's how that works. That's not how it works.
No, you got to find money that matches and all that.
So there's going to be multiple teams involved in any kind of contract moving. When these contracts are this big, when you're in the $50 million plus range.
But both Bontemps and Windy, in their portions of the article, both are under the impression that they run it all back, including Paul George.
I read part of that, and I came away with they're looking at it from a very, very analytical kind of position, because analytically it's very tough to move off of 1 or 2 contracts of that size. It's exceptionally, it doesn't mean it's impossible.
It's
and
not
again,
impossible,
I will go back to the thing I always say, the Wizards moved off of Bradley Beal. That was a huge monster of a contract, a complete mistake. They moved off of it. They're obviously paying, on the back end of it, but whatever. You can do it. It's possible. I think that those guys are looking at it well, Joel Embiid says the knee doesn't bother him anymore. It's as healthy as he's felt.
Yeah.
The optimism. I think that's what those guys are looking for. They're looking at, all right, well, it's tough to move off if you believe what that this is his health. This is what you're going to get. This is as healthy as he is, and this is what you have. Then there you go.
Now, Windhorst writes, several executives I talked to in the wake of Morey's departure described how enticing the job opening is because of the 2 young guards in Maxey and Edgecombe. So not because of Embiid and Paul George, but because of the 2 young guards.
No, that's nice.
Windy admits it's surprising considering the 2 contracts. If you're an executive and we're all in agreement that it's probably a first-timer, are we all in agreement?
I think it's a first-timer.
If you're a first-timer.
I don't think it doesn't have to be. But a first-timer...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a guy that's currently a president of basketball operations.
Correct.
So
but it could be somebody who's right.
What weighs heavier?
It would surprise me.
What weighs heavier? The enticing 2 young players or the 2 contracts? If this is my first job.
Oh, you mean what am I being sold on? What weighs heavier as far as my consideration to take the job?
I want that job because of those 2 guys, or I don't want the job because of those 2.
I think the young players. I think the young players weighs heavier. That would go higher in my pro. like a pile or whatever you want to say it. Like if I'm making my list,
you're dying to get your first $4 or $5 million a year job.
Sure.
I think
so
you want to be
just like you're not going. But well, I'm not going to. This is the only one I'm being.
You want to
offered.
be successful at it because you want to have another one.
Right.
Right. You either want to be successful at this one and keep it, or be successful enough that when another job opens up, that you could do that one. Yeah. Right. You don't want to come into a situation where you're doomed from the start. So hey, it's your first job. It's going to be your last one. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that there is some reasoning behind like you have to be able to entice somebody because of X, Y, and Z.
All right. Fair enough. All right, you ready, Amy? Austin, you in on this?
Oh.
We already know John's schedule breakdown.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull up my.
Here, hold on. All right, there we go.
Perfect. That's great.
I have some music for this. All right, Eagles schedule. And I did it during the break. And I don't know if I love it or hate it. All right, WW, Washington, Tennessee to start the season.
Got it.
Are you there as well?
Yes, that's where I am.
Yeah, we're there.
I go LL.
LL?
I go LW.
So you go L Chicago, W Rams.
Correct.
WL.
You go 3-1 with the 3-0 start. I go LL, Chicago, and LA. But then they catch fire for a week. I have them winning in Jacksonville.
In London.
Unlike John can carry in London against Jacksonville. John has them losing.
I think I might have them losing that game.
I'm not a Trevor
I'd have them win.
You have them winning?
Yeah.
I do have them losing when they come home, though.
Me too. I hate that spot for them.
I hate that spot.
It's not that I'm some big Bryce Young fan.
I'm not going to go LL, so I'll go win against Jacksonville because I really don't think that they will beat the Panthers, unfortunately.
I think it's just a horrible spot.
It's a tough setup.
You're coming back from London. They're coming off of a bye.
So that's like, really? Yeah. So I've got my two losses so far, the Bears and the Panthers.
All right. I have a sweep of the division.
Right there.
Dallas Commanders on the road. Giants win. Okay, so at the bye week, I have them with 3 losses.
Okay, drug test.
I have them 6-3, but winning the 3 straight divisional games.
All right, put him in for the drug test right after the show.
That's
I have them at.
I have 3-3 last year
at Washington as an L.
Commanders.
They were 3-3 in the division last year.
All right, we'll have them losing to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Giants are a lot better.
Giants are a better team
than last year. That is an exceptionally low bar.
Yeah, I understand. And they whooped your backside last year.
All right, what do you have in the NFC East?
So I have them losing at Washington.
Okay.
I have them losing at Dallas. Those are my only. They sweep the Giants.
Okay. Austin?
I have them splitting with the Giants, but then I have them sweeping the Commanders, splitting with the Cowboys.
Okay.
And you have them losing to the Giants in Week 9, entering the bye. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Post-bye, Pittsburgh, W.
The last one's a loss for me for that Giants game.
Resting the starters?
Yes.
Pittsburgh, I have a W.
Yes.
Rodgers!
Just talk about running it back.
Discount, double check. I have them losing in Dallas.
Yeah,
I
do.
On Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's going to suck.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving Thursday.
Yeah.
That's going to suck. You guys all Pittsburgh win?
Yes.
And Dallas, we're all losing?
Yeah, because I think they're going to win it at home early in the year.
So that means they're winning that game because we all have them losing. W against W against Cardinals.
Yes. Colts win.
Colts win because I think, what did I say a lot last year, Johnny?
You don't believe in Daniel Jones.
Fraud alert. Look at the schedule that they played in the first 8 weeks of that season. You go, oh, wait.
And look how he finished the season.
Uh-huh. And he's coming off of a bad injury.
Yep.
I have a win against the Seattle Seahawks.
I don't.
No, I don't.
It's my birthday.
I know.
They can't lose on my birthday, Amy.
They can't.
No, they can.
They can't.
They won't, though.
Nah, you know what?
They won't, though.
This is the Connor Thomas, Sam Darnold disrespect segment. Also, they lost their Super Bowl MVP.
True.
He's in Kansas City now.
Yeah.
So
which they will regret signing him.
Who, Kansas City?
Yeah. They're going to regret that signing.
Maybe not the first year. Mahomes hasn't had a running back in 10 years.
I got you.
They were still trotting out Kareem Hunt last year.
I got
Hunt
you.
Wild.
Isaiah Pacheco hasn't been the same since CJ laid him out.
Oh, and he broke his leg. That was their one big problem.
That can hold you down a little bit there.
Who's that?
Hamper you a smidge.
CJ?
Yeah.
I have them beating the Texans.
Yep.
Yes.
I have them losing to San Francisco.
Correct.
Like John.
The Texans game might be the biggest lock. That'll be the most distracted road team ever. A Christmas Eve game on the road. Most of the team, young family men. You're
CJ
so
Stroud,
distracted.
period.
CJ Stroud, who is in a walking disaster area.
Against good defenses, too.
I mean, honestly, that may be the most...
That's going to be a very low-scoring game.
That is a bad game, and I think both teams are going to be distracted.
Yeah.
Both guys are going to be
I think the Eagles win that
By the way,
one.
both defenses, you want to talk about low
Texans
scoring?
defense is legit.
They're really
Oh, no, they are.
good.
Yeah.
It's legit. That's a legit
But
team.
Texans are going to have trouble scoring.
Yes,
I
they will.
have them losing the last two. I have 6 losses for me.
Ooh,
The Eagles-Texans game already out, by the way, on the books. You guys want to guess what the line is?
The line?
Yes.
Eagles
3.
3.5.
I'll go 4.5.
2.5.
There we go.
Do you want to guess what the over-under is?
It's gotta be so low.
37.5.
Yeah.
Right on the
There
money.
you go.
37.5
Yeah.
is the
I was like, it's gotta be
over-under
low.
for the Eagles and Texans.
Wow, I get $500 from Drew Carey for that.
So I have 12-5. And I have them
I have
winning
11-6.
a lot of games in that gauntlet, and that's why I hate it, because I go, there's got to be a loss somewhere in there. So I might be more 11-6,
wow.
but doing the exercise
Well, my
that is
11
so
and 6
important.
is the last game is the 6th loss.
And remember, last year,
They needed it. And they
Nick
still
Sirianni showed
they
you
rest
that
the starters.
We're going to
That's what
rest
they
the
always
starters,
do.
and boy, did that pay off. Stupid.
Hopefully, it doesn't come down to
Stupid.
it.
You keep on saying
You could have played the beaten-up Green Bay Packers if you won that stupid game.
Yeah, and you know what? They weren't winning.
You could have played.
No.
So the broken-down Green Bay Packers were going to come in and beat you.
No,
they were
even
not.
if they won that game.
Yeah, but then you're going to Chicago. You got a better chance to win at Chicago. Come on. Come on.
Dude, they sucked. The Eagles sucked last year.
It was stupid. It was a stupid decision punting on that game.
You were
stupid.
The shock that you had that they lost to the Niners.
Absolutely stupid decision.
The Eagles' offense was so atrocious last year.
And
They
they
weren't winning squat.
And they wouldn't have lost to that stupid San Francisco. If they got to play Green Bay, my gosh, it's so dumb.
They weren't winning
They
squat.
It was
That
dumb.
Eagle- that
Yeah,
team-
they wouldn't have beaten that Green Bay team.
That team was dead.
They wouldn't have beaten Green Bay at home.
No, man.
Oh, come on. Stop.
Dude, that offense was horrific.
And they wouldn't have beaten Green Bay.
San Francisco was missing half of their team, too.
Come on.
They sucked last year. Last year was one of the worst years to endure, and they won the division.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
All right, coming up next, Ask Me Anything. Text them in now, 610-632-0975. If you haven't yet, YouTube, start sending them in. Please, I appreciate it. We'll do that next here on The Fanatic.
Kane and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, it's almost time for Ask Me Anything. The people have chimed in on YouTube. They don't totally feel the same way you do, John, about the Eagles would have beaten Green Bay.
Really?
Because the 49ers, if you remember, the 49ers were banged up, too, going into that game.
Okay.
The Eagles sucked.
The Eagles were the clearly better team for 4 quarters in Green Bay and beat them. Earlier.
Yeah, earlier in the year when
Green Bay was more beaten up at that point. And they were a team that limped into the playoffs. Terribly limped into the playoffs. That was the easiest team in the playoff field that they could have had. And they could have had it. There was no reason not to win that game last week. None. You do that. When you have a chance to host 2 playoff games, you try to host 2 playoff games. There's no arguing that it's a smart strategy on Nick Sirianni's part. The rest did them nothing. The rest did them no good at all.
They lost in the first round because they sucked. All right.
Nothing.
Time now for Ask Me Anything.
Now it's time for
What else you need to know?
Ask Me Anything.
Would you like to know more?
No, ask me anything.
All right, I'll get the YouTube crew started. Austin, you have a text ready. Kieran chimes in. Great question.
Okay, I love it.
I love that it's not sports. Okay. Selfishly. Your go-to, the Chinese gyoza dumpling or the Polish pierogi?
Pierogi.
I'm a gyoza guy.
Pierogies are delicious.
Pierogies are awesome.
Why, it's Ask Me Amy.
My gosh.
I like the Chinese dumpling. I enjoy a good shrimp dumpling, which is very good.
How's the pierogi prepared the way you like it the best?
I like to have a little bit browned and then steamed.
How about a little onion?
Onions in this.
Gotta have
A little
onions.
sour cream and onion.
Sour cream.
Onion, great.
Absolutely.
I don't do
Has
the
to
sour
happen.
cream, but the onion.
When you go up to Lehigh Valley, if you ever go up to an Iron Pigs game, that you can get that at the
it's like a
concession. It's delicious.
Sounds good.
It's delicious.
All right, we got the text line.
All righty, Amy. Also, Amy, happy belated Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Because this is where this question is going to.
Goodness.
Hello, Amy. Please answer this for me. Why does my 3-year-old feel the need to cause mass destruction to things that don't need to be destroyed?
No. I mean, that's the great question. If anybody has that answer, please call in or write a book because people will buy it. They'll buy the crap out of that book. We don't know. They're like little puppies. You just kind of hope that you can minimize the destruction as much as possible.
Both of your boys?
They're not destructive so much as
Were
they
they
just
when
do
that age?
stuff, and you're just like, why are you doing that? Like, why would you jump off of the Lego table? Is that a necessary thing? Did you think that through? No, because they're 3.
Can I read you a really sweet, very early stage of a parent text that I just got?
Yes.
So my buddy Johnny, he and I, we're the catchers of our Sunday league team. We have a doubleheader this week. He is informing me that he can't make either game, so I'll be suiting up for 14 back there.
You won't be walking Monday.
I won't be walking Monday morning. The reason being they're very intense in the sleep training right now, and they don't want to put that on their on his in-laws for nap time. And I said, been there, done that, brother. Coop's still sleeping in bed around midnight every night.
Yeah. The thing is, you're just, when you have a destructive or a crazy episode with your children, you just are like, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
This too shall pass.
Sleep training and all that's great. We did
This
it,
too shall
and
pass.
it worked for like 3 months. And then something happened, and it was like, all right.
Trying to reason with the children is always my favorite thing.
Yeah, good luck, brother. All right, what else we got on the text line?
Amy, what is your favorite shore town?
Oh, this is a great one because as a person, I've lived here now for 17 years, but I came in and I was fascinated. I was like, first of all, you just roll up. You have people delivering food at the beach. Wild. Loved it. Big fan of shore towns across the board. I tend to go where it's a little bit quieter now. And so I do tend to go down to like Stone Harbor, like 119, 120 if I'm going to the beach at Stone Harbor.
Yours is?
Ocean City was the childhood destination.
Yeah. But as far as like going out, Sea Isle.
Exactly. And Brigantine,
Sea Isle.
I have a place to stay.
Yeah.
Always. And they have bars. They actually have a decent bar scene in the Brigantine area. But stay away. We don't want more people.
Avalon gets one. Love it. And then Stone Harbor.
You can't go
Avalon and Stone Harbor are so close.
Yeah, you're in one to the other. So we're probably closer to the Avalon and Stone Harbor, but I love Sea Isle.
I love the quiet.
All right, let's stick with the shore topic as we are reaching Memorial Day weekend. Andrew wants to know lake/mountains or the shore if you were to pick.
The shore, but I do enjoy a nice getaway to like a Pocono area with the lake, and I have a really good friend of mine that lives in Vermont, and going up there like near like Lake Champlain, that's really, really nice.
And you like golf in the mountains, like you like golf, like scenic golf and everything.
Oh yeah. But if push comes to shove, if I'm driving 2 hours, I'm going down the shore.
All right, there is a sports related question from Xander. If you could have one animal be a starting quarterback, what animal would it be?
A cheetah.
That's a good one.
That's like Michael Vick.
You can't really catch the cheetah.
Can't catch
Tyreek
cheetah.
Hill.
I would say like Air Bud was pretty good.
Oh, you want a specific human? Well, then no,
He's not a human. That's a dog.
Sorry,
Amy.
specific. I made him animal.
Nikki Foles is human. Just talk to her. She's human.
So I would go for some speed for my quarterback.
I like that.
Put the ball in his mouth.
Especially if it's a dog. Yes.
What else we got on the
Cheetah.
text line?
Can't
On the
catch a
Davis
cheetah.
Honda text line, feel the Davis difference in Burlington.
The new season of quarterback has been announced. So, Amy, we were asked which quarterback has your eyes. Is it Jaden Daniels, Joe Flacco, Baker Mayfield, or Cam Ward?
God bless putting Joe Flacco in there.
Seriously.
The best part of Joe Flacco was when he discovered the joy of going to a bar to eat by himself, to which everybody in the history of the world was like, duh. Especially people that have children.
Yes, going to the bar by yourself.
Brilliant. It's a great. We do that all the time.
Religious experience.
But no, I would go with Baker Mayfield. I think he has the most personality of
He
those.
does. And Jaden Daniels.
No offense to Jaden.
It'll also be.
It'll also
I think
be his
Baker's
mom.
likable.
Jaden Daniels will have his mom.
His mom will be there.
His mom will.
Every scene.
I don't think you're going to get the real unfiltered.
What's with the mom getting out of the did you just see him at the whatever awards he went to, and mom was in the limo with him?
Well, how else was she getting there? They're riding separate.
He was going to an award show.
She's also going to the award show.
he had.
I thought the weirdest thing last year
weird to
was
me.
when
She
he was
sat in between.
the girl.
Yeah.
That was really
Juju.
Yeah,
Watkins.
like-
yeah, Juju
Weird
Watkins,
to
right?
me.
Like,
UFC.
It's weird to me.
that was weird. All right, Austin, great work.
Good stuff.
Last
Thanks,
couple
everyone.
of days.
Thank you.
Amy, you're the best. We'll
Thanks,
see you
crew.
next
Thanks, guys.
week.
See you on Tuesday.
Connor Thomas will be back on Monday, and we'll talk to you then at 6 here on The Fanatic.